at 5.
Well, a new look for Apple. The ever-popular iPhone and iPad may be getting a major makeover. Welcome back to 10 News at 5. I'm Beth Haynes. Rumblings of a new Apple interface are getting a lot of buzz in the tech world. The upcoming iOS 7 is said to be very, very flat. Much different than the glossy 3D icons that we're used to. So we brought in our tech expert, Thompson from Claris Networks, to give us an idea of what this change is going to look like and how it's going to impact us all. Always glad to see you,
Thanks.
Especially when it comes to getting the gossip on the latest gadgets and things. And speaking of gossip, let's talk about where this information is coming from, who's reporting it, and what's their track record in the past when it comes to Apple products.
Yeah, sure. So this story first broke by a fellow by the name of Ben Parr. He writes for CNET. Him and several other Apple bloggers have kind of been releasing this story, and Ben and the few others that are kind of right behind him are very good at predicting what Apple's going to do next. Now, where they get their information, we don't know. It's all off the record. But these guys have been traditionally pretty good at predicting this, and it seems like the fellow who's over the interface, Johnny Ive, has been quoted a few times. So at least, you know, we're pretty sure that what we're hearing is what's going to be the case.
Okay, let's talk about the new look versus the current look. You were just kind of explaining to me the differences that the user is going to notice.
That's right. That's right. So if you look at your iPhone or iPad today, if you look at the you know, the icons that are on there, they all kind of have a bit of a candied look to them. They have, you can see kind of going through here.
I know, we were just looking at my phone a minute ago.
Right. It's sort of a stylized thing. So like if you look at the notepad as an example, it's yellow and it has the little marker lines through it. And the design concept is meant to mimic the real life things that they're replacing.
Yeah, like the calendar, the notebook.
Exactly. So it's supposed to have a 3D look to it. Now the new interface is supposed to be very flat. John Ive is the guy that's over the interface for Apple, and he has been noted as having a very simplistic design style. So all that 3D stuff is apparently going away. All the multicolored stuff is apparently going away. So you'll have an interface that looks very similar, possibly, to the Windows interface.
Which I think is so interesting because everyone has always followed in Apple's footsteps, and you and I were just talking. Is this, you know, an opportunity where Apple is following in Microsoft's?
Well, it certainly seems so. So with Windows 8 and really with Windows Phone 7, Microsoft really kind of started retooling their interface. They went very flat. I mean, it's just like these weird-looking squares on their phones, and now on the desktop interface. And so for what looks like the first time maybe ever, Apple is following in Microsoft's shoes instead of the other way around. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. A lot of people were saying, well, should they even bother? And I would offer this. So if you remember when we were kids, our parents had the shag carpet in our houses, right? I mean, and that was popular in the 70s and early 80s. But at some point, you realize, we got to get rid of this. This is not in style anymore. And that's apparently what Apple feels like they're doing today, is at some point they got to change that interface. If we look back at MySpace, it dropped off the face of the earth because they were doing no innovation. If you look at Facebook, they're constantly innovating. People are constantly gropping, but they're still signing up and they're still using.
You've got to stay current.
That's
and
right.
You've got to engage your users. So you think this is a lasting change?
Well, I'm sure that it's going to be a lasting change. Whether it's going to be a positive change, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm sure, I mean, Apple followers are so excited. A lot of them will embrace it. I'm sure a lot of them will complain too, but it's going to be fun to watch for sure.
Keep us posted. I'm not sure when exactly we'll hear the official news.
Right.
All right. Thanks so much. Good to see you. And stay with us. We're coming right back after this break.